7 smart ways to make people take you seriously. Most people don't get ignored because they lack intelligence. They get ignored because they unintentionally teach people not to take them seriously. Think about that. 2 people can walk into the same room. One speaks, and everyone listens. The other speaks, and nobody pays attention. The difference is not always talent. It is not always status. And it is not always money. More often than not, it is the habits they have developed over time. The Stoics understood a powerful truth. Respect is rarely demanded. It is earned, not through force, not through intimidation, not through arrogance, but through character, through discipline, through consistency, through self-control. Many people spend years wondering why others overlook them, why their opinions are dismissed, why their words carry little weight, yet they never examine the signals they are sending every day. Today, we will explore 7 Stoic ways to make people take you seriously. These are not manipulation techniques. They are character traits. And once you develop them, people begin viewing you differently. Not because you changed who you are, but because you finally learned how to present your best self to the world. Subscribe to Stoic Reflections for more videos on Stoicism, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, and mental strength. Because when you master yourself, respect follows naturally. Way number 1. Speak less and say more. One of the quickest ways to lose respect is talking too much. Many people believe being taken seriously means speaking constantly, giving opinions on everything, dominating conversations, always having something to say. The Stoics believe the opposite. Wise people choose their words carefully. They understand that words gain value when they are used intentionally. There was a young employee named Daniel who constantly tried to impress people. In every meeting, he spoke. In every discussion, he offered opinions. In every conversation, he tried to prove how much he knew. At first, he assumed people admired him. But over time, something strange happened. People stopped listening. The more he spoke, the less impact his words had. Then Daniel observed an older manager. This manager rarely spoke. But whenever he did, the room became quiet. People listened carefully. His words carried weight. One day Daniel asked him why. The manager smiled and replied, "When people know you speak only when you have something valuable to say, they pay attention." That lesson changed Daniel's life. He stopped speaking merely to fill silence. He began listening more, observing more, thinking more. And when he finally spoke, people listened. The Stoics valued silence because silence creates clarity. When you constantly talk, people stop distinguishing important words from unimportant ones. But when you speak with intention, your words gain power. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself to listen more than he spoke, because wisdom enters through listening, not talking. Imagine 2 people. One constantly seeks attention. The other speaks only when necessary. Which person appears more confident? Which person appears more thoughtful? Which person seems more trustworthy? The answer is obvious. If you want people to take you seriously, stop trying to win every conversation. Focus on adding value instead. People remember meaningful words, not endless words. Way number 2. Keep your promises. Nothing destroys credibility faster than unreliability. And nothing builds respect faster than consistency. There was a man named Michael who had a habit of making promises. He promised friends he would help them, promised coworkers he would finish tasks, promised family members he would show up. But often he failed to follow through. Not because he was malicious, because he was careless. Over time, people stopped believing him. His words lost value. Eventually, Michael noticed something painful. Even when he was serious, people doubted him. Even when he meant well, people hesitated. Why? Because trust is built through repetition. Years later, Michael changed. Instead of making many promises, he made fewer promises. But he kept every single one. If he said he would arrive at 6, he arrived at 6. If he committed to a task, he completed it. If he gave his word, he honored it. Something remarkable happened. People began trusting him again. Not because he became more charismatic, because he became more consistent. The Stoics believed your words should mean something. Your actions and promises should align. A person whose words and actions match develops a powerful reputation. People know where they stand with them. People know they can depend on them. People know their promises carry weight. Think about the most respected people you know. Chances are they possess this quality. They do what they say, over and over again. Trust is not built through grand gestures. Trust is built through small acts of consistency repeated daily. If people cannot trust your words, they will never fully respect your opinions. But if your actions consistently support your promises, respect becomes inevitable. A reputation takes years to build and minutes to damage. Protect it carefully. Way number 3. Control your emotions. Nothing causes people to lose respect faster than emotional instability. This does not mean becoming cold. It does not mean suppressing feelings. It means developing self-control. There was a business owner named Robert who had tremendous talent. He was intelligent, hardworking, creative, but he had one major weakness. His emotions controlled him. Whenever something went wrong, he exploded. Whenever someone disagreed with him, he became defensive. Whenever he felt challenged, he reacted impulsively. People noticed. Employees became cautious around him. Friends avoided difficult conversations. Opportunities began disappearing. Not because Robert lacked ability, because he lacked emotional discipline. One day, after losing an important client due to an emotional outburst, he decided something had to change. He began studying Stoicism. He learned to pause before reacting, to think before speaking, to observe emotions without immediately obeying them. The transformation was not instant, but it was powerful. Months later, people began noticing a difference. Robert remained calm during stressful situations, handled criticism with maturity, responded thoughtfully instead of emotionally. And something interesting happened. People respected him more. The Stoics understood that emotional control creates authority. When people see that pressure does not break you, they trust you more. When people see that criticism does not shake you, they respect you more. When people see that challenges do not overwhelm you, they take you seriously. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. The real test comes when life becomes difficult. That is when character reveals itself. That is when respect is earned. The person who controls their emotions controls their reputation. Way number 4. Stop seeking approval from everyone. One of the fastest ways to lose respect is constantly needing validation. People can sense it. They can sense when someone is changing their opinions to be liked. They can sense when someone is afraid of disagreement. They can sense when someone desperately wants approval. And ironically, the more approval you seek, the less respect you receive. The Stoics understood that a person who depends on the opinions of others can never be truly free. There was a young woman named Sophia who wanted everyone to like her. At work, she agreed with every opinion. With friends, she adjusted her personality depending on who she was around. In relationships, she avoided expressing what she truly felt because she feared conflict. At first, this seemed like kindness. But over time, people stopped taking her seriously. Why? Because nobody knew where she actually stood. Her opinions changed constantly. Her decisions depended on other people's reactions. Her confidence seemed fragile. One evening, after feeling exhausted from trying to please everyone, Sophia realized something important. No matter how hard she tried, someone would always disagree with her. Someone would always criticize her. Someone would always misunderstand her. So she made a decision. She would stop living for approval. She would speak honestly, set healthy boundaries, express her views respectfully, and accept that not everyone would agree. The result surprised her. People respected her more, not because she became rude, not because she became arrogant, but because she became authentic. The Stoics believed that your values should guide your actions, not public opinion. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he constantly reminded himself not to become dependent on praise. Because praise can disappear. Approval can change. Opinions can shift overnight. Character remains. When people see that you are willing to stand by your principles even when it is unpopular, they begin taking you seriously. Not everyone will like you, but respect and popularity are not the same thing. Many people chase popularity. Wise people build respect. The moment you stop needing everyone's approval is often the moment people start respecting you. Way number 5. Set boundaries and enforce them. Many people complain that others do not respect them. But when you look closely, you discover something important. They do not respect their own boundaries. They allow people to waste their time, ignore their needs, break promises repeatedly, treat them poorly, and then wonder why nothing changes. The Stoics understood that self-respect teaches others how to treat you. There was a man named Ethan who was known for always saying yes. If someone needed a favor, he agreed. If someone needed money, he agreed. If someone needed his time, he agreed. At first, people praised him. They called him generous, helpful, kind. But eventually, a different pattern emerged. People started taking advantage of him. His time was no longer valued. His efforts were expected rather than appreciated. His kindness became something people assumed they were entitled to. One day, Ethan became exhausted. Not because he disliked helping people, because he realized he had neglected himself. He began setting boundaries. He learned to say no when necessary. He learned to protect his time. He learned to prioritize important responsibilities. At first, some people became upset. Some complained. Some accused him of changing. But something interesting happened. Over time, people respected him more. Why? Because boundaries communicate value. When you respect your own time, others learn to respect it too. When you respect your own energy, others notice. When you protect your standards, people understand that access to you is not unlimited. The Stoics never encouraged people to become selfish. They encouraged people to become wise. And wisdom includes understanding that constantly sacrificing yourself to please others is not virtue. It is often fear disguised as kindness. Think about the people you admire most. Do they allow everyone to walk over them? Do they tolerate endless disrespect? Do they abandon their values to avoid discomfort? Probably not. They have standards. They have principles. They have boundaries. And because of that, people take them seriously. One of the greatest misconceptions about respect is that being endlessly accommodating earns it. In reality, respect often comes from balance. Kindness combined with strength. Compassion combined with self-respect. Generosity combined with wisdom. The Stoics understood that a person who cannot say no eventually loses the power of their yes. If you want others to value your time, your opinions, and your presence, start by valuing them yourself. People rarely respect what you constantly give away for free. Respect begins when you recognize your own value. Way number 6. Become excellent at something. One of the most powerful ways to make people take you seriously is simple. Become genuinely skilled. Become competent. Become excellent. In today's world, many people want recognition before mastery. They want respect before effort. They want authority before competence. The Stoics believed respect should be earned through action. There was a young musician named Daniel who dreamed of being admired. He spent years talking about his talent, talking about his potential, talking about his future success, but his skills remained average. One day, an older musician gave him advice. Stop talking about becoming great. Spend your time becoming great. The words were difficult to hear, but they were true. So Daniel changed. Instead of seeking attention, he practiced. While others relaxed, he studied. While others complained, he improved. While others sought recognition, he focused on mastery. Years later, people began taking him seriously. Not because he demanded respect, because his skill commanded it. The same principle applies everywhere. In business, in leadership, in communication, in fitness, in education, in relationships. Competence creates credibility. When people see consistent excellence, they naturally listen. The Stoics valued mastery because mastery requires discipline, patience, focus, humility, persistence, qualities that naturally earn respect. Many people spend enormous energy trying to appear important. Wise people spend that energy becoming valuable, and value is difficult to ignore. The loudest person in the room is rarely the most respected. The most respected person is often the most competent. Way number 7. Let your life speak for you. This is perhaps the most important lesson of all. Most people spend years trying to convince others, trying to explain themselves, trying to defend themselves, trying to prove themselves. The Stoics preferred a different strategy. Live in a way that makes explanations unnecessary. There was an old craftsman whose reputation was known throughout his town. People trusted him, respected him, admired him. A young apprentice once asked, "How did you build such a strong reputation?" The craftsman smiled, then gave a simple answer: "One day at a time." He explained that reputation is not built through speeches. It is built through habits. Small choices repeated consistently over years. Honesty, reliability, discipline, respect, integrity. These qualities eventually become visible. And when they do, people take notice. Marcus Aurelius rarely concerned himself with convincing others of his virtue. Instead, he focused on living virtuously. The Stoics understood that your life is your strongest argument. If you are honest, people notice. If you are disciplined, people notice. If you are reliable, people notice. If you are calm under pressure, people notice. You do not need to announce these qualities. They reveal themselves naturally. And when they do, respect follows. Because genuine respect is not demanded. It is earned through consistent behavior over time. People may doubt your words, but they cannot ignore your actions. If you want people to take you seriously, stop focusing on appearances. Focus on character. Remember the 7 ways. Speak less and say more. Keep your promises. Control your emotions. Stop seeking approval. Set and enforce boundaries. Become excellent at something, and let your life speak for you. These are not tricks. They are habits. And unlike tricks, habits create lasting respect. The Stoics believed that the strongest form of influence comes from example, not force, not manipulation, not intimidation. Example, because people trust what they consistently observe. If you live with discipline, people notice. If you live with integrity, people notice. If you live with purpose, people notice. And eventually, people begin taking you seriously without you ever asking them to. Subscribe to Stoic Reflections for more videos on Stoicism, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, discipline, and mental strength. And remember this: the goal is not to make everyone respect you. The goal is to become the kind of person worthy of respect. Once you achieve that, the opinions of others become far less important. And that is where true confidence begins.